Despite a wetter April and May for our region, drought is still a major concern as we head into this summer. We're bringing you a look at how the drought will impact reservoirs and fire season. And we sat down with Senator Wyden to discuss what provisions in the infrastructure bill will help tackle climate change here in Oregon and what more needs to be done. Plus, new research from the National Weather Service looks at the climatology of lightning. We'll show you where and when lightning is most common in southern Oregon and northern California.
This is a Newswatch 12 special presentation, the StormWatch 12 Summer Forecast. Here now is the StormWatch 12 weather team.
Summer is almost here and the StormWatch 12 weather team is making sure you're prepared. Thanks for joining us for the StormWatch 12 Summer Forecast. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman. Over the next half hour, we're going to break down how current and future weather conditions will impact your summer plans and, of course, fire season. Let's start with an update on the drought and water year. Much of the West is heading into the summer with drought, and especially some of the worst drought conditions here in southern Oregon and northern California. It's been kind of a wild ride with the U.S. Drought Monitor over the last several months. We had a pretty wet November and December, and we were looking fairly good for the west side as we headed into January, but basically the faucet shut off and drought really worsened as we went through January, February, and March, and much of our region was under extreme to exceptional drought. Now, we have seen some improvements in recent months in April and into May. Things have been a little bit wetter. We've seen some improvements, but still likely the drought's not really going anywhere as we head into summer. Just when we look at rainfall in Medford, this was through Sunday, the 22nd, and you can see January and February were just so low, and we definitely needed a lot more precipitation. When you look at the water year numbers, they are very low for everybody, over 16 inches below normal in Mount Shasta. Now for a look at how the drought is impacting our local reservoirs ahead of the busy summer recreation season, let's head over to meteorologist Josh Culbreth.
Yeah, Matt, according to a study by Travel Oregon, outdoor recreation in Oregon generated $15.6 billion for the state in 2019. Reservoirs that look like this obviously don't do that any favors. However, it's not just a one-size-fits-all kind of crisis. I took trips to both Fish Lake and Immigrant Lake, and it was an interesting case study of two lakes which have seen very different impacts from our water deficit. We start with Fish Lake. Even though impacts have been felt when it comes to boat ramp tolls and actual lake recreation, Fish Lake Resort is still thriving. Caitlin Purdy, co-owner of the resort, said that it's still business as usual in the RV park, cafe, and at the resort store. She told me that revenue hasn't taken a hit at all.
People are still wanting to come up and just camp, whether there's a lake or not. They're just looking to be outside. So it's awesome. We love to see people enjoy it. There's a ton of hiking trails around here that they're still able to obviously use, whether there's water or not.
Despite our friends at Fish Lake being relatively unscathed by the drought, it's been an entirely different story here at Immigrant Lake. This ridge that I'm standing on right here is actually where the water used to come up to. And lakes that look like this one have been absolutely detrimental to Jackson County parks. Said parks in Jackson County are primarily funded with user fees. Steve Lambert, parks manager of Jackson County, told me that $1 million is a safe estimate of drought-induced revenue loss for the county's parks.
When you have boating facilities that aren't usable and a marina that's not usable, and people come to the lake to camp mainly for water access, it really starts to reduce the revenues that you bring in.
Even with revenue losses, Lambert assured me that the county's budgeting for the parks program is sound and conservative, and that the program itself is in a good position.
ODF is taking into account the drought and other factors and are preparing for the likelihood of a more active fire season this year. Recent rainfall in April and May has helped delay fire season, but has also helped grow more grasses and other fuels that will dry out this summer. Natalie Weber with ODF says now is the time to create defensible space around your home ahead of fire season. One family made use of fuel reduction grants to create fire breaks around their home, and it proved vital when it was threatened by last year's Fielder Creek fire.
And because of that work, they were actually able to save their home. Firefighters could get in and better defend it. And so it really does matter. It really does make a big difference to have this work done ahead of time.
ODF's game plan once again this year is to hit fires that pop up hard and fast, putting them out as quickly as possible and keeping them as small as possible. ODF is asking people to help in that effort when it comes to fire prevention. Earlier this month, we got our first look at the new images provided by the new GOES 18 weather satellite that'll watch over the West Coast when it goes fully operational in the new year. This satellite will replace the GOES 17 satellite currently serving the West Coast. That satellite has suffered from malfunctions of its cooling system. The upgrade GOES 18 won't have the same issues, and it will be able to provide critical and reliable data for meteorologists. The satellite has a lightning mapper that shows both lightning strikes on the ground and up in the clouds, which can help identify severe storms. It can also spot wildfires.
We have seen fires start, especially at night. It shows up really good, and they don't have to be huge fire complexes to show up. So the resolution is fairly good on them, and we could detect them early. There's no tool for a meteorologist, I think, that's better than a satellite because that data goes into the computer models for forecasting, and it gives us more observational information than anything else.
Now, speaking of lightning, the National Weather Service office has compiled data going back to 1995 from lightning observation networks to find out where and when lightning is most common in southern Oregon and in northern California. There are two main hotspots for lightning in our area. One is along Highway 97 towards Chemolt and Lapine, and the other is between the Scott and Shasta valleys in Siskiyou County. Both are due to mountains creating lift to create thunderstorms. When it comes to time of the year, our region sees a little spike in lightning around now, and then a more pronounced peak in July and early August.
Because when we think of lightning out here, we think of fires and starting wildfires. And it's unfortunate that our lightning peaks in July and early August, because that's when the fuels tend to be close to their driest. They might be a little drier later in August, but it's almost perfectly coinciding with the dry fuels.
Although most wildfires are caused by humans, the majority of our largest wildfires, like last year's Bootleg fire, have been caused by lightning. But the good news is that the data doesn't show a trend of increasing lightning over the years.
In 2020, the Caldwell fire burned the eastern half of the Lava Beds National Monument near Tule Lake. Last year, the Antelope fire burned its western half. After both fires, 97% of lava beds was scorched. I talked to both the park superintendent and fire management officer about how the park is recovering since the fires. Despite how much of the park was burned by the two fires, only minor infrastructure was lost, including many signs and picnic tables. The eastern half of the park is still primarily closed off to visitors.
We're still evaluating the trails and hazard trees, and we'll deal with those as soon as we can. Our goal is to eventually reopen that part of the park as soon as possible.
Lava Beds National Monument didn't lose any buildings in the fires thanks to prescribed fire treatments and the maintenance staff hardening the structure of buildings in the park with non-flammable cement exteriors and metal roofs.
The fire behavior, even in the treated environment, was such that we would have lost structures if they had not been hardened. This is my 32nd year of fighting fire. I had never seen or expected fire to move that fast at lava beds. In one period, it moved 7 miles in 45 minutes. You can't plan for that, but that is the new reality.
The fires did do some good, though, and the recovery is well underway at the park. Wildflowers are in bloom, and the juniper trees were pushed back to their historic range.
It's freed up water for the ecosystem. Our ice caves are getting more water now than they have for the last 30 years. Those are going to look great, and our ice caves are really cool.
They say the only thing hampering a more robust recovery of lava beds is the extreme drought conditions. Orr predicts it'll likely take a good 60 years for the park to look like it did before the fires.
Last year's record-shattering heat wave in June has local officials preparing for future heat waves. A look at what steps are being taken coming up.
And we visited one local winery to see how the changing climate of summer in the Rogue Valley is impacting the winemaking process.
But first, let's test your knowledge with our weather trivia question. This winter, Medford went 37 days without seeing any measurable precipitation, setting the record for the longest winter dry streak since record keeping began back in 1911. What's the longest all-time dry streak in Medford? Is it A, 99 days, B, 100 days, C, 112 days, or D, 107 days? We'll have your answer when we return.
StormWatch 12 Summer Forecast, presented by Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford.
Buy more, save more at the massive 4-day sale at Furniture Row. That's 4 days to save $100 on every $1,000 you spend, plus 7 years no interest financing. But don't wait. The massive 4-day sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
Visit Butler Acura for attractive offers on the MDX.
Are you tired of looking for a new vehicle and being told you have to wait? At Jim Siegel, this new Nissan Titan is on the lot and ready to be bought. That's right, no waiting. This Titan, with America's best 5-year, 100,000-mile truck warranty, is on the lot today at Jim Siegel. Want more good news? Your trade may never be worth more. Paid for or not, even if you don't buy ours, we want your trade. Chevys, Hondas, and Nissans on the lot and ready to be bought at Jim Siegel Grants Pass.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota LO1 Series tractor features #1 rated reliability. Powerful Kubota diesel engine, ease of operation, and your choice of a dependable Kubota gear or HST transmission. The durable Kubota LO1 Series tractor. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo.
Serving Southern Oregon and Northern California for over 50 years. Stop in at Central Equipment.
Are you seeing signs of basement, crawl space, or foundation problems like moisture, cracks, or settling? They won't go away on their own, and little problems just get bigger. One call can be the answer. Terra Firma fixes everything under your home. Don't waste another day worrying. Call Terra Firma.
It's the massive 4-day sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Or check out the Summit Firm for only $299.99. Plus 7 years no interest and free shipping. But hurry, the massive 4-day sale at Denver Mattress ends Monday.
Before the break, we asked you what's the longest all-time dry streak in Medford, and the answer is C, 112 days. In 1929, there was no measurable rain in Medford from June 16th all the way to October 4th. On June 28th of 2021, Medford reached 115 degrees, tying the all-time record previously set back in 1946. Tragically, the heat wave was responsible for 166 deaths in Oregon, most of them coming from Multnomah County. Many of the victims lacked access to air conditioning, and this underscores the importance of public cooling shelters, and the city of Medford is looking to expand its partnerships to be better prepared for the next heat wave.
Pretty much any business, any faith-based operation can open up their doors during their normal business hours and provide that service. So we're definitely looking to partner and to expand that. We have a lot of different populations that need the support during extreme weather events.
Mr. Ott, who you just heard from, told me that something as simple as a bingo hall or a church opening its doors could make a huge difference in trying to cater a safe, cool environment for all of the different populations in the Rogue Valley. The impacts of climate change reach far and wide and even have something to say about a Southern Oregon delicacy. Yes, that includes wine. Now, I couldn't tell you the difference between a Cabernet and a Merlot, so that's why I deferred to Fred Mim, a winemaker at Roxanne Winery in Medford, and he told me that even though wine grapes prefer warmer climates, extreme heat does a disservice to the final product.
We'd rather see a more moderate summer temperatures. When temperatures spike over 100, it stresses the vines out, makes them real uncomfortable, makes fruit development harder.
Fred went on to tell me that something else that can affect grape development is smoke. Fresh, thick, prolonged smoke can be absorbed by grapes during their development stage. Thankfully, smoke doesn't typically become an issue in the Rogue Valley until after the grapes have matured.
Last week, the Siskiyou County Board of Supervisors gave full approval for the Mount Shasta Ski Park to expand onto Gray Butte with the construction of a new ski lift. It'll be called the aptly named Gray Butte Lift. This is exciting news for the Mount Shasta Ski Park after all the lifts stopped spinning early this year. The ski park closed for the season back on March 12th. Mount Shasta was only open for 86 days. To put that in perspective, the 2020-2021 season saw the ski park open for 107 days. And we'll ignore the 2019-2020 season because of the COVID pandemic, but look back at the 2018-2019 season. The ski park was open for 130 days. This new Gray Butte lift will be higher up on the mountain on Gray Butte. starting at an elevation of 6,400 feet and then ending up at 7,500 feet. It'll be Mount Shasta Ski Park's longest lift, a nearly 10-minute ride for skiers and snowboarders. The lift will let folks enjoy 5 additional runs and open up 88 acres of skiable intermediate terrain. The new longest run will be a little over 3 miles. It'll also give skiers and riders access to their backcountry area. After over 20 years of planning and development by the ski park, crews have already begun working on logging and clearing trees for the new runs. The ski park says construction of the lift will begin around June 1st. The new Gray Butte lift is set to be open to guests this winter for the upcoming ski season at Mount Shasta Ski Park. Coming up next, Senator Wyden will tell us about how the infrastructure bill passed late last year will address climate change and wildfires in the state.
But first, a look back at pictures taken this past winter and spring by you, the viewers, across southern Oregon and northern California.
StormWatch 12 Summer Forecast, presented by Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford.
Fresh seafood is right around the corner at the Wharf Fresh Seafood Market and Eatery. Our wide selection of seafood is wild caught and served fresh to order daily. Enjoy live music in our newly renovated outdoor seating area with a heated patio and walk-up bar. Family owned and operated, serving the Rogue Valley for over 15 years. The Wharf Fresh Seafood Market and Eatery, bringing the coast home to you.
The Price Slasher is back, so come on down to the Dodge Doggy Spring Clearance Sale happening now. During the month of April, any new vehicle will be sold for just $100 over factory invoice. We have the vehicles you're looking for, including the Jeep Renegade, Ram Bighorn, Dodge Durango, and Jeep Wagoneer. Yes, drive a little, save a lot. Brookings, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. We're here to serve you from Crescent City to Brookings and all surrounding areas.
Thanks to you, our loyal guests, we are celebrating 29 years of moments at the river. We have something for everyone, so grab your friends and get ready for incredible giveaways, promotions, entertainment, prizes, gaming, food, and fun. Plus, don't miss your chance to win $129,000. It's our birthday all month long, so let's keep the party going. Join us at Wind River Resort and Casino for our 29-year anniversary celebration. Find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Ashley's Memorial Day sale is going on now. Get amazing deals on bestsellers that are in stock and ready for fast delivery. Plus, right now, you can save up to $1,000 on leather reclining sofas and sectionals. Refresh your whole home with a multi-room package. All this for $49 per month with 60 months no interest. Shop all of Ashley's Memorial Day deals. Plus free local doorstep delivery. Only at America's #1 furniture and mattress store. Shop your local Ashley store or visit ashley.com today. Visit us at both our Medford and Roseburg locations.
Multi-year drought and devastating fire seasons in recent years have highlighted the big impact of climate change here in Oregon.
The infrastructure bill passed late last year included multiple provisions to address climate change. So for more on these provisions and how the money will be used in Oregon, we're joined from Washington, D.C. by Senator Ron Wyden. Thank you so much for joining us, Senator.
Thank you both for having me.
Of course. So, well, Oregon is set to receive $529 million in assistance over the next 5 years for improvements to water infrastructure. So what kind of improvements are coming to Southern Oregon, and how does this account for drought concerns?
Well, first of all, I think we have to remember that Oregon has taken a tremendous wildfire hit 2 summers in a row. And these fires are not your grandfather's fires. They are bigger, they're more powerful. They hit Southern Oregon just like a wrecking ball. We're all familiar with how hard the hit has been. So what I have done is focused on making sure that we could fund concrete improvements for Southern Oregon, but the money that we're going to be receiving in terms of the $529 million that you ask about is going to be particularly valuable in terms of water storage, conservation, and making sure that we can look to the future with smarter plans to deal with drought.
Now, Oregon is also receiving $39 million over the next 5 years to protect against wildfires. What exactly does that entail for us in Oregon?
You're asking about the additional $39 million?
Yes.
Yeah, the additional $39 million is going to be very helpful in two key areas that I made my special priorities. One was what are called prescribed burns, which means that you go in there when the weather is cooler and you control the burns and you reduce the likelihood of these big fires later on. The second measure that I was able to get funded under the provision that you talk about is the help for utilities to do more to make power lines fire resilient.
And the final question we have for you, Senator, is that $52 million are going to Oregon over the next 5 years to support the expansion of electric vehicles. So do you think that this is enough to achieve net zero emissions by 2050? And if that won't do the trick, then what maybe will?
Well, it is a good start, certainly. I do think that the linchpin of really hitting those emission reductions targets is my Clean Energy for America bill, which got through the Senate Finance Committee. What Clean Energy for America does, for the first time in history, first time in 100 years, the country would be given a clear direction that the more you reduce carbon emissions, the bigger your tax savings. It is market oriented, it is technology neutral. It's the kind of approach that can bring people across the political spectrum together. And in our state, it has very strong support across the political spectrum.
Senator Wyden, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Will it be another scorching hot summer? I'll have your summer forecast when we return. Don't go anywhere.
But first, to look back at pictures taken this past winter and spring by you, the viewers, across southern Oregon and northern California.
StormWatch 12 Summer Forecast, presented by Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford.
At Black, Chapman, Peterson, and Stevens, we've helped thousands of people receive millions of dollars for their suffering and injuries. Let us help you. BlackChapman.com. Free consultations. If you've been injured, we're ready.
Daisy Supply is here to help you grow, and we carry the soil and amendments you need for a successful harvest, like the complete line of Fox Farm products. Putting in a planter, 2 cubic foot bags of Happy Frog, available in Canyonville and at Daisy's Hubbards in Medford for $10.49. Putting in a whole row of hoop houses, totes and truckloads are available, and we deliver Fox Farm to the whole Rogue Valley. Fox Farm helps your grow go from good to great, and at Daisy's, we know that how we grow matters.
Heading out for the long Memorial Day weekend? Stop by the Blackbird first and get your gear while it's on sale. For example, all men's outdoor and fishing lifestyle apparel from Steelhead is 20% off right now. Teva Hurricane XLT2 sandals for men and women are sale priced at only $59.97, and this Alpine Mountain Gear Director's Chair with side table, just $44.97. And it's time to sign up for the annual Rainbow $5,000 Trout Derby June 25th at beautiful Diamond Lake. Brought to you by the Blackbird.
Hi, I'm Brian at the Appliance and Mower Center. We're your local source for sales, service, and parts on quality appliances. We carry all the top brands: KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, and Amana, in all the latest styles with features you want. We're Whirlpool certified, and we service most appliances with more than 30 years of experience. For do-it-yourselfers, we carry a huge selection of parts. We're here to serve you. Appliance and Mower Center in Grants Pass.
Let us help you get the financial compensation you deserve from your injuries. We've helped thousands of people, and we can help you. Black, Chapman, Peterson, and Stevens. Free consultations. If you've been injured, we're ready.
Now, StormWatch 12 weather with Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman.
All right, let's take a look at that summer forecast. If you remember last summer, it was very hot in our region, record-breaking heat, and it does look like, according to NOAA, their summer forecast, showing a likelihood for above-average temperatures, at least in the 33 to 40% range, especially for the west side. But last summer, we were in this 50 to 60% range, so at this point, maybe not as hot as what we saw last year, but take a look at precipitation according to NOAA, favoring a little bit drier than average when it comes to rainfall from June through August. Now we can take a look at different weather patterns, one of them being La Nina, which is expected to run through the end of the year, and this will be the longest stretch of La Nina through 3 falls and winters since 1998 through 2001. So we're a little bit in uncharted territory. We had to kind of go back a ways to find years that had similar weather patterns, not only La Nina, but other weather patterns that occur in the Pacific. And 1955, 1971, and 1975 are all years that kind of fit the same conditions heading into summer, but they are a bit variable with the weather. So there is definitely an air of uncertainty though still, but this is the main trend when you average those years together. June favoring more of an onshore flow from the Pacific, and that will keep temperatures likely cooler than average for most. And then as far as rainfall is concerned, near to drier than average. Now July could get interesting. Swings between hotter and more mild weather, and it does look like it could be pretty active when it comes to showers, but also thunderstorms. So lightning will be a big threat, and it's possible we could see well above average as far as rainfall is concerned. But you got to remember, July is our driest month of the year. And then August, likely our warmest month of the summer, a wetter west side and potentially drier east side. That is a potential for August. So when you factor in all the months and all the models, near average temperatures overall, so likely, hopefully not as scorching hot as what we saw last year, but the drought will likely persist through the summer. I don't think we're going to get much help in that department. So that's it. Thanks for joining us for the StormWatch 12 summer forecast. No matter what happens this summer, we've got you covered. The weather can change quickly. Make sure you're always in the know through our newscasts, website, apps, Alexa skill, and be sure to follow us on social media as well. Those are all the ways we are watching out for you. Have a great summer.